I mean, I wasn't really emotionally ready for being in the one relationship. And Lisa had come over to Australia and went, here's everything. This is it now. And so just to sort of get through that, we did couples therapy in the first year. And that was really invaluable because it taught us how to argue.
Welcome to Separate Bathrooms. We are in the middle of a conversation.
Yeah. And
it's been a busy time for us. I haven't been on our Facebook page for a good couple of weeks. There's been reason for that. It's just we've been moving house. We had to pack up a house and now set up a house. We're coming to you from our brand new studio, so I'm sure we'll get some video and you can see behind
AKA me. Garage.
Yeah.
You made that sound a lot nicer than it actually. Well, it's going to be really nice.
There's a red leather couch sitting here, and I've finally got my old desk from the States back set up again. So I'm really happy about that. It's been a process anyway. So how are you feeling?
Well, I'm cranky.
Okay.
I'm cranky about a couple of things.
Oh.
Well, you know what I'm crankiest about
What?
is it's so ironic, right? So we've got our Separate Bathrooms podcast, and we talk about how important separate bathrooms are in a relationship. We've mentioned this like 50,000 million times.
Yeah.
Now, not only are we sharing a bathroom with each other, but with our 15-year-old. So now there's 3 of us in a bathroom, one sink, and it's sharing towels, it's sharing sinks, it's her makeup stuff. I'm just going, oh, mate.
Right.
Oh, so
Temperance, patience.
Well, it was last night when I came in to find yet again my clean towel had been used, left wet. This is the second time. We've only been in here a week and it's happened twice. And I'm so cranky about it. And I'm like, I just want my own dry towel. Like that's if I can't have space in a bathroom and just my own dry towel.
Is your towel, what colour's your towel?
Yellow.
Oh, that's the one that was on the floor that I used as a bath mat.
Oh, don't even. Don't even. Anyway, look we've got we've got some fabulous people coming into our virtual bathroom. 2 people that you're a friend of yours anyway, coming on in.
Dave Campbell.
Yes, and his gorgeous wife Lisa.
Yes.
And I'm really excited to talk to these 2. I think that they're a good, solid couple.
Yeah. David Campbell, as you would know, is an OAM. He's on telly 5 days a week. He's one of our most versatile entertainers. Lisa is a casting director, producer. Together they started the Hayes Theatre. She sits as a chairman still with the theatre. They're busy people with 3 kids.
Yep.
And they've taken the time to be with us.
All right. Let's welcome them into the bathroom. David and Lisa. Hello.
Thanks for coming on. We've wanted to have you guys in our bathroom for a long time.
It's a really weird thing to say, you know. What decade is this?
Just don't drop the soap.
It is
David.
true. That's so rude.
But that's what we do.
I'm here for it.
That's what we do.
Oh, my gosh. All right, look, we always love to start at the beginning with our couples. And the beginning is, of course, the beginning of your relationship. So how did you 2 meet?
All right, it's your turn.
Okay. So I am English and...
What?
Surprise.
And I used to be an actor. And I was over in Australia with a touring play.
Which was?
And
Which was
an Inspector Calls. And I did 6 weeks in Sydney and then we did 6 weeks in Melbourne. And the people in my cast were obsessed with Kath and Kim.
Mm.
And when we left the airport in Melbourne to go to our accommodation, there was this big billboard saying that Magda Szubanski was in a musical in Melbourne at the time. And we were all so excited. And so some friends of mine went to see this show that Magda was in and then muscled their way backstage by saying, you know, we're from the National Theatre in London, you know, we really need to meet you. And they became friends with Magda. And then I met Magda and I got invited to a Thirsty Thursdays in a dressing room. And so I went along, and then there was this chap there.
Of course, it was my dressing room. The drinking party.
And he offered me a beer, and I said yes. And then from that moment, we haven't really been apart. And there was a moment where we thought, okay, well, I had to go back to the UK, and he obviously lived here. And then Magda was really instrumental in ensuring that we maintained our relationship, and said that this doesn't happen all the time, and that we were made for each other, and sort of that was that.
That was it.
So we can thank Sharon. That Sharon got you guys. Yes,
absolutely, that's it.
Nice.
Did she go to the wedding? Did she go to the wedding wearing
netball outfit?
Netball outfit.
She was my bridesmaid.
No, that's so cool. I didn't know that.
She's still very much part of our family. She's our daughter's godmother. I spoke to her 2 days ago. She's very much in our lives.
What a good lady.
Hey, Lisa, were you wary of, clearly you were an actress, and so you knew what you were getting into, dating a performer.
Was I wary?
Yeah, it's a good question.
I'm not wary enough, by the way. No, I had no idea who David was, and I'd never heard of his dad. He really downplayed everything. And sort of said, my dad's a rocker and this sort of thing, but never explained sort of the level of Jimmy's success or anything like that.
I was enjoying the anonymity.
But I'd always dated actors. So, no more wary than I should have been. In hindsight, it's mental. The fact that I'd only known him for 3 weeks when I emigrated here was
if any of our friends would do that, we'd be like, oh, it's a terrible idea.
Yeah.
My daughter said that.
Oh, God. No.
Or our sons. Yeah. But yeah, in hindsight, it was an outlandish, ill thought out plan, but it worked out okay. So
yeah.
And now you know every other actor in the whole world here because you're casting. Well, they all want to know you.
Yeah, for sure. You've got 3 gorgeous kids, Billy, Leo, and Beattie, and they often steal the show on your Instagrams with their singing. How has fatherhood changed you, David?
Oh, God, immensely. Immensely. It's made me so hyper aware of being present in their lives, and hyper aware of my behavior and what you put out to the world. And how it sort of realigned all of my moral structure, which was pretty loose prior to having children. It was but it really just went oh no, you have to actually put out good things to make the world a better place for the people that you put into the world. And then model that behavior for them. So it really did change a lot for me. I still think we're fun. We're strict, but we're fun. But I think that for me, it was more about changing who I am as a person. I think I just stripped away the crappier parts and just kept the good parts.
Beautiful. Yeah, kids will do that.
They demand it, don't they?
That's so true.
That's so true.
They do.
Yeah.
They demand our presence, and we owe that to them.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, Lisa. So, as a casting agent, 3 children, which one is going into the entertainment industry?
Oh God, are they here?
It's Beattie.
Beattie.
I think
it depends on where you put them.
Yes.
Right. True. We could be cameraman, could be makeup artist, could be, but in front of the camera, it's Beattie.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
She's just an eternal show off, in the most beautiful way. She's incredibly entertaining.
Yeah.
She's very, very funny. I've never met anybody who cares less what you think of her.
Oh, it's the best.
It's hard to parent.
Oh, it is hard to parent, but it will make a really good performer.
Yeah.
Because there's no self-consciousness there at all.
But then Leo is really adept musically and has perfect pitch and has really grown as a piano player and is really fascinated by, John Williams and scores and writing stuff. And so he's interested in that. And then Bill.
Well, we had a moment. We've got a production that was supposed to open in June, but of course COVID. And there's a part in it where there's a small child. And it was difficult for us to get the children in because of the COVID restrictions and things like that. So in the end, Billy did the role. And there's nepotism for you, but actually it was a lot easier for him to do it than anyone else.
The shoe fits.
Anyway, so he came in, and as soon as he came in, he sat with the director and he watched a couple of scenes. And when they stopped to change something, Billy asked the director if he could give some notes.
Oh, no. He's how old?
He's 6.
6.
Were his notes good?
They weren't bad. I mean, I'd seen worse, Cam.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
But so he was talking about the fact that he felt that that the way that they were moving could have been smoother, and that there was if they'd have gone a certain way, they'd have less chance of falling over, which was also true. But it was that thing of like, the option for them to see what a director is, things like that was really, really great.
Who knows? Maybe all three of them just in different capacities, like you said, Al.
Yeah,
we're
nice.
praying for an accountant.
No, it's not going to happen. Just one lawyer. One.
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Well, speaking of kids and going into our grand business, where you do need grit and resilience to stay in it and to be part of it, are you guys teaching, consciously at this point, teaching your kids about that, about resilience and allowing them to fail, or how do you handle that?
Oh, that's the one, isn't it? Grit is the. Is it taught? I mean, it's a really, really tricky thing because ultimately we don't want to allow our children to fail to the point of learning to have to cope. So, I mean, there's part of me which tries to rescue them somewhat. So, ours are little, but you don't want them to fail to such a point. But how do you teach that?
Oh, you can't.
I think a lot of it is, it's learned behaviour. It's absorbed rather than being taught per se. Can you teach it?
It feels to me like it goes down the leash, and you two are very productive, and you're both. It feels like, from an outsider, for me watching you guys, very much in charge of what you do. You employ people, so you are the performers, and you employ as well. So I can only see that as being a good thing for those kids.
Yeah, there's that. I also think there's allowing them to be creative, and then also being strong parents at the same time, and having that sort of knowing when to say, okay, that's enough now. You have to get back to schoolwork. I mean, we're quite strict with how they behave and their manners and how they treat people. So there are caps on what they can do, but then on other levels, they flourish a lot more under that.
But there is that aspect as well of just ensuring that we're not concentrating on the product. So it's not like, okay, it's not like everybody gets a medal, it's all great, but more the fact that it doesn't really matter if you win. It's pleasant to win. It's great if you win that prize, but equally it's the participation,
being in the game.
Actually, absolutely. And also not hiding the fact that we have failed.
Yeah.
I guess that's really important, to acknowledge the fact that we've done stuff that hasn't worked, or we've tried something and that we've had to pivot, or whatever it may be. I guess that's something that's really important too.
Showing them how humbling the whole thing can be without being like, Daddy just needs his time just to drink this one away. There's it's just sort of going, well, that's disappointing, and that happens, and you have to pick yourself up and you have to move on to the next one. And that it's not about the thing that's in front of you, it's about the whole game that you play. Yeah. It's not just, and it's every move to that game.
And that can be with anything.
Yeah, for sure.
That's life. That's whether they go into entertainment
100%.
or accountancy or lawyering.
Yeah. So as far as if there is conflict between the two of you ever, how do you resolve it? I can't imagine it. Do you sing it away? Do you play act it out? How do you resolve conflict?
We did couples therapy early on in our relationship, just because it was a lot of pressure. I mean, I wasn't really emotionally ready for, being in the one relationship. And Lisa had come over to Australia and went, here's everything. This is it now. And so just to sort of get through that, we did couples therapy in the first year, and that was really invaluable because it taught us how to argue and how to argue without like going to. So my family are all tribal and just like, I'll end it, boom, and it's, it's everything's that you just hit the big red button and just go nuclear. And
my family are all, okay, well, I want to argue about any point with you and I want to debate you on it.
And I want to win.
And I will, whatever it is, let's have a fight about it. I'll even take the wrong side because I just want to argue.
Yeah.
So that was they're just the worst.
The first year was so great and so passionate. We had so much good time, but it was also like we had the biggest barneys, and it was like, how are we going to get through this? And we finally did this couples therapy together, and it was really constructive.
And both of us have done a lot of therapy individually as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we'd done this couples therapy, and at the end of the couples therapy, our therapist, she was a lovely woman, and she was like, well, I think you guys have done really well, and thank you for coming in. And I'm like, I don't think I'm done. So if she can go, I'll just stay on. And I kept going. And so, but it was really just being open with each other, I think, is the key. And we don't really fight that much.
Well, no, but it's also, I think that, I don't know whether you have this as well, but
everything's their fault.
No, it's not. It's also just the fact that we have been through every argument before. So now we know each other so well that it will also be, I know how it's going to play out. So I know that if he's a bit sick, that he's going to be sooky and then he's going to feel really bad about everything. And then that's going to spiral into feeling like, oh my God, the world is burning and I'm going to die soon.
Yeah. Lisa, I have to stop you. I have to stop you there. Man flu is a real thing.
Also, can I let you know that just shows the level or the lack of the nurse that is in our household on Liz. It's like the empathy level of if you ever get sick, like, I might have a bit of a cold. Oh, really? Oh, brilliant. And I'm like, but I just don't. I'm vomiting in my own bed. Oh, I don't care.
Never is.
Anyway, but you know how to argue now, and that's the important thing.
So we don't really argue. I mean, the thing is now we can cut off most arguments at the pass. Oh. Are we going to fight about it?
But no,
we cut off a lot of it at the pass because we go, wait, this is, we can explain things.
That's true.
We don't go barneying. Or
no. But I mean, but there's disagreements. Sure. Absolutely.
And I tell you that I hate to disagree with you. And that makes me really insecure and needy every time we disagree.
See, a man's got to know his limitations, David, and that's a really good one to understand.
And also, I know also it's because of the fact that she has a really great education and I have basically zero. And so whenever she's like, oh, I don't know, now you're just making me feel intellectually inferior. So I'm just checking out.
Aww.
I do the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just retreat to my man cave or whatever and just I've realised something, that things in this world of immediacy, things take time. And these things they sometimes, like I was always one for, we have to resolve this before we go to sleep. Never go to, they heard that one where you go, never go to sleep on an argument or on a disagreement. But sometimes things take longer than that. And I need to go into my cave and just sort of go, all right, what is it that's going on, and what's my part in it? And then sometimes that might take 24, 48, 3 months.
You always come to it though. You're very good with that. Like you always, I feel like, come to the understanding and come back and go, okay, this is where I was. This is what happened.
This is what I get.
Yeah. There's nothing like a good sleep on it sometimes. Sometimes there's a good sleep on it.
I wonder if those old adages have become from such an old world. It's like that, we used to live until we were 30. So it's like, never go to sleep on an argument because it could be your last one.
Yeah, right. The dinosaur may eat you tomorrow, so make up now.
You could get cholera.
Yeah.
Anyway, so,
Now it's another C. Oh, my goodness.
Exactly.
Oh, don't even.
Hey, speaking of the C, how's homeschooling? Well, you went to any homeschooling? You are.
Oh, yeah.
How are you balancing work, Lisa? I don't know. Are you casting stuff at the moment? Is there?
Yeah, I'm doing Moulin Rouge Japan.
Oh, wow.
That is all via video. So that goes on in the afternoons. So I do the children up until 12:30. Then David comes home, takes over for a couple of hours when I can start doing all of the Moulin Rouge Japan stuff.
And then Dave, you take over after that, do you? You come back from, you do your morning show.
Yeah.
And then you take over from there.
So I pick up around lunchtime after lunch, and then I have the afternoon shift, and that usually involves like trying to make sure those crashes don't happen in the afternoon where they're just like don't want to do it anymore. Or a lot of it's just like it's maths and reading. And I sat there with Beattie tonight, and she just read stuff, and she just read her books to me, and then she make sure they do extra maths or whatever puzzle they have to do. Or she did something really wild tonight. It was about like circling things in her maths in different colors and then writing what those circles were and why you group them together and what it equals. And so I went away. I said, okay, you do that in different colors and then write them down and I'll come back. And I came back and it was all printed out in like the blue is this and the brown is this and this much. And I was like, did you type that? She goes, yeah. I said, that's amazing. You did that yourself. She goes, yeah, I did. And I'm like, that's awesome. And then she goes, I'll show you how I did it. And there's a microphone button there and she just dictates it.
Yeah,
she's worked out how to dictate it. And I'm like, still impressive.
Yeah.
I'm still impressed by that.
Yeah.
You don't know how to spell it, but yeah.
You think that? So they had Christian studies today, and Bill did the same thing.
Right.
But all of it said cheese is went on a boat. Cheese is
like a brand of cheese.
Yeah, it wasn't really recognizing Jesus.
No, well, that's an Apple problem. That's not for us.
Maybe if you said Jesus.
Yeah, probably.
Well, a lot of people like cheese. I mean, the dairy farmers, we worship
Absolutely.
the cheese.
Cheese is good.
David, you've got a new album coming out on September 3rd.
I do.
Called Saturday Sessions. Tell us all about it.
Well, I've done a couple of albums with Sony. I hadn't done some for a while, and then they sort of dragged me back in like Godfather 3. And I said, okay, well, I'll do a Christmas album. So I always thought it'd be great to do that. And that did really well. And then they said, do another one. And I was like, all right, well, I've got some ideas of swing songs I hadn't done yet. And so I did that, and I thought it was really big and grand and lush. And I was like, great. And then lockdown happened, and they came back again and said, do another one. I'm like, the first lockdown last year, I'm like, I don't know about this. But I'd been doing, like a lot of other artists, I'd been doing this sort of Instagram, like doing a gig on a Saturday night. But like watching my dad do it, he would do like a couple of takes, put it up online at a certain time, and it was all done really neatly. Where I was like, no, I'll go live. And and I'm not a very good piano player, and I'm an adequate guitarist, and that made for really interesting times. But I really enjoyed the challenge of it, but it meant that I was doing a lot of songs that I would never usually do, because I would do Broadway songs or something like that, or a Gershwin song, but I'm not nearly good enough to play those chords. So I had to find songs that I could do simply and still perform. And so a lot of these songs, like, like Short Note by Matt Finish started to come up, or A Little Ray of Sunshine started to come up. And so I thought that was really interesting, or the Bee Gees, How Deep Is Your Love? And so when Sony said, do another album, I'm like, oh, guys, we've just got a lockdown. I don't really have any ideas. Here's some songs I just did. And I just sent through a list of songs that I just randomly chose that I'd done on these Saturday night sessions. And they're like, great. I'm like, oh, no, that's not the final list. They said, yes, it is. And I'm like, okay, so now I have to find a way to make that all tonally work. And it was just about finding the musicians. And I didn't want to do a big brassy thing. I wanted to feel like it was intimate and organic, and I wanted to push myself. Usually I have charts written out, and Chong Lim comes in, and everything I've sort of acquiesced control to somebody else to sort of say musically how it's going to go. They try and take the stuff out of my head and put it all in charts. But this time I just found musos that I'd never worked with before or trusted. My musical director was the only one I knew and worked with before, and he knows me so well. And we sat in a studio, and we'd start with the first song which I was told to, I'd sent in. And they go, okay, how are we going to find this sound? And we were not, my rules were not allowed to bring in any vocalists except for who's in the room, not allowed to bring any other instruments, only the 4 people we had. And we had to find the arrangements between us, and they had to push me, and I wouldn't know where we were going to go. And once we found the take, we had to press record and try and capture the moment. And so that's how the album sort of finished up. And I'm really proud of it because I've never done something like this before. Always it's been like very control and very manicured as like these swing or Christmas albums usually are.
Yeah, I'm actually I was hoping to see Something Stupid on there with you both as a duet.
Yeah, well, we got to find another duet for 2021. No. We've only got one.
That was one of the most charming things I've seen on Instagram in the last 12 months.
Okay.
You are too sweet.
No, I'm serious. I just was like, because I didn't know you sang. I didn't know you were an actor. I didn't know anything about you than you were a casting director. And so
I don't sing. That was the one time I do it.
Oh, it's so pretty.
It's just right.
You did yourself proud, Lisa, I have to say. Cam showed it to me this morning. He goes, I've got to find this Instagram of the two of them singing this song together because I feel like secretly Cam wished that I could sing. I can't. But anyway.
I'm just a child that can.
Look, I can clap my hands. Like, I can do that really well. But yeah, he showed it to me and he's like, look at this. Look at how gorgeous this is. And it really is gorgeous. It really is beautiful.
Oh, thank you. That's very sweet. Thank you.
We're going deep now. This is the 2-minute shower. This is where we keep our answers short to conserve water. And Al's going to start off.
Oh, okay. Here we go. So, short answer from both of you. What is your best quality?
I get things done. Do you want to run it past me?
Ooh,
I'm indecisive but charming.
Okay. What's your partner's best quality?
He's really funny.
She's everything she does seems to be perfect. She's the most trustworthy person I know.
Steady on.
Nice. Who do you admire?
Wait, it's a shower. You go first.
I'm too busy lathering up. Who do you admire? I mean, I admire Jimmy and Jane.
Yes.
Yeah, I admire them because I think that what they model is really important and what they've been through is really powerful and their love is really is consistent.
And for those who live under a rock, Jimmy is David's dad and Jane is Jimmy's wife.
Beautiful.
What about you, Lisa? Who do you admire?
That was it. But I've chosen that one. Do you want to just ride the coattails of that one, or
no? I was thinking of like
Malala, Barack Obama.
No, I was thinking, I was literally going to say I think Monica Lewinsky is great.
Isn't there a musical about her now?
There's a
TV show.
TV show. Okay.
Okay. Here's one. What do you search for most on the internet?
Probably recipes. Oh my God, how dull.
I search for nerd stuff. So like breakdowns of trailers, cartoon things, comic book things.
Wow, I'm glad you said nerd because at first I thought you were going nude stuff and I was like, David, let's not admit
just
that.
Like, what big boobs? And I just put it in to see what happens.
Okay, what does your perfect day look like?
There's a really good amount of sleep. I would really like to be listened to by my children.
Wouldn't we all?
Most of our days we're lucky. Most of our days are pretty perfect. I mean, we've all got each other. We're lucky. We're here. But, just less hospital visits in the last few years. We've had quite a few.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
And, you need to just clarify that. I mean, that's just like last year, all three of them broke different bones in different.
No.
Like,
2 in the first lockdown.
Yeah.
No.
An arm jumping off a couch and a foot at school. At
school. We had another foot with Leo this year, and then another hand with Billy.
Yeah, there's been lots. But I really like going for long walks with our kids and our dog. That sounds so bland, but there's just something really, really beautiful about them just existing just slightly further ahead of us. So we can have a chat.
Upwind, so we can't do what they're doing.
But they're also active and they're just doing something.
These are not short answers. This is like,
it's a very long shower now.
Is there one moment in your life that you would like to revisit?
If I have a moment of our twins being tiny again,
Yeah.
I wish I was more present for that, because I think I was so overwhelmed that I don't think I fully appreciated what was happening. It was just too much.
Yeah, it was survival.
Yeah, absolutely. And I wish that I could have those moments again where I have more, just more mindfulness. I think I had it with Leo, but I didn't with the twins. Yeah. It was exactly as you said, survival.
I'll say I think our wedding day was a lot of fun. I'd go back and do that again. That was fun. Everyone was around us, family. It was a really good day.
Yeah. What are you guys reading at the moment?
Oh, man. Reading. Well, I just got Richard Marx's book, which I'm dying to read because he's amazing and he's got a great life story. But, I mean, finding time to read with these kids in COVID is just impossible. Yeah. What are you attempting to? What are you dreaming of reading?
I still haven't finished The Vanishing Half.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Which is Britt Bennett's book, from which I started last year, and I haven't finished. Not because it's not brilliant; it's just because
it's tricky, isn't it?
Time. Yeah.
As soon as my head hits the pillow, I get through 3 pages and I'm done. You know. What the world needs now is.
What the world needs now?
Mm-hmm.
A long, hard look at itself.
Yeah.
I love it.
Fair call. Fair call.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Less carbon emitters.
Yep.
I think we know what to do.
Yeah,
it's just a matter of doing it.
Yeah. People who are going to commit to change, I think.
Yeah. Last question. Describe your partner in one word.
David, you look like a bobblehead doll.
Perfect.
Oh,
Perfect.
God.
No pressure, Lisa.
Vegan.
What? That'll do.
That'll do.
That'll do.
That'll do, pig. That'll do.
That pig lived.
You guys are awesome. Thanks so much for being with us.
Yeah, we'll let you get back to homeschooling and kids and all that stuff. So
it was so nice having an excuse not to be there. So thank you.
Anytime. Yeah, thank you for your time, you two. It was so nice.
Thanks, guys.
I love those two.
I actually feel better now because I came in doing.
Did you feel
well,
bad
I
before?
came into the podcast feeling really crappy, not about the podcast, but just having a crap day. And now I feel so much better having spoken with them. They're so uplifting. They're just a great couple.
Yeah, and they balance it all. I mean, they're so busy.
Yep.
And like I said, they're not just performers. They're the bosses. They make decisions. They hire people. They're busy people.
Yeah. You know what they are too, and I meant to actually say this to them, is both of them always come across as really kind. Like I find watching David on the TV in the mornings, there's a kindness that just oozes from him. And clearly she's the same way. So I always love that energy. It's very clear with those two.
And I was going to add to that a curiosity. They're quite curious about what you're doing and they want to know. And so with that interest comes a lot of warmth, doesn't it?
What about that lineage for their kids? You know, Jimmy Barnes, David, you know, of course they're going to be musical. And then all the musicality, you know, with their uncles and aunts.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And even through COVID, the fact how much music is being produced. And then if you look at David's Instagram, he's dancing pretty much every second day.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, with his
doing-
co-host, with Belinda. Yeah, I love those dances.
They're great.
They're so good.
They're so talented.
So
Must
good.
be a very fun household to live in.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Thanks for being with us. We'll be back next week. And again, follow us on Instagram. I'm at Cameron Daddo.
Ali Daddo.
And we have our Separate Bathrooms Facebook account. And you can find us here at Nova Podcasts.
All right. Thanks so much for listening.
See you later.
Bye.